Okay, we have everything laid out here. Just want to briefly go through some of the components. I mentioned in the beginning that we moved away from the single-piece air valve and went to a two-piece air valve. And here's the new two pieces. Just going to have to snap together, and there's going to be an O-ring that goes in between the two. In addition, I wanted to point out that while we have all the new components in the air valve, some of the parts will be reused, such as the end plates, the snap rings, and the roller ball. All right, so let's go ahead and start this rebuild process. The first thing I'm going to do is we're going to take the roller plate and we're just going to drop it right down inside the cavity. And there's a couple of pins on the back side of the roller plate that line up. And then you're just going to take some of this lubricant that comes with the rebuild kit. We're just going to squeeze a little bit of lubricant in there. So the grease is on there to help hold everything in place, along with give it some lubrication qualities. Then we're going to go ahead and get the piston ready, and I'm just going to install the two new U-cups. And you want to install those U-cups so the sealing surfaces or the edges are going inward. All right, and then just like the strike plate that we just installed, I'm going to go ahead and put some lubricant on the U-cups. You can apply a liberal amount of lubricant here, but you don't need to over lubricate it. If you look on the piston, you'll see there's a flat surface and a more rounded side. When you install this, you want this rounded side to be pointing down or towards the strike plate. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is put the end caps back on. And again, we'll put a little lubricant on there. We'll just push that into place until it snaps down in, and then all of the outside, inside diameter is visible, so you can get the snap ring put back in place. And we'll just turn it over and we'll repeat for the other side. We have our roller ball. I'm just going to put, again, a little bit of lubricant on the roller itself, and then down inside where the spring goes. We're just going to drop that down into the piston, and then we're going to rebuild our air cup. To assemble the new air cup, if you turn the main body over, you'll see there's a large piece that's cut out on one side, and on the surface itself, there's going to be a magnet. The magnet is there for units with data track. This one doesn't have data track, but all the cups are going to come with that magnet. When you assemble this, you want to assemble it so that magnet is on the side where the large cutout is. So we're going to go ahead and install the O-ring, and then we'll put the cup in place. Once it's all put together, we're going to bring in our air valve body again. We'll put a little bit of lubricant on our spring. So the idea is wherever we have a mechanical movement or an O-ring, we want to make sure we use some lubricant. We're going to drop the spring down into the roller, and then we're going to position our air cup. And the way to position the air cup is, once again, I'm going to refer back to that magnet. And if you look on the side of the air valve where this little cutout is, that's for the sensor if we had data track, or where the air inlet is, that's the side that you want the magnet to line up to. I'm just going to drop that air cup in place so that it rides down on the spring. Make sure it's a little bit springy in there. Okay, so once again, we're just going to take a little bit of lubricant. We're just going to put it right on the surface. And again, this is a mechanical movement area, so that's why we want to lubricate it. And then we're going to bring in our air plate. The smooth surface goes towards the air cup, and there's a center hole on the plate that, again, you're going to line up with the air inlet. just going to push that down into position. Okay, once the air plate is in position, we can come in with our screws. So these screws are intended only to hold the air plate in position. You don't need to torque these, and you don't need to over tighten them. You're just going to bring them down and snug it in just to hold that air plate in position. Okay, and that is a complete rebuild of the Husky 1050 air valve. The last step is going to be reinstalling the air valve. We're going to put our new gasket in place. The gasket has locators on it, so you can't put it on in the wrong position. And then we can secure the air valve. This air valve will actually work in either position. However, you want the air inlet to be on the opposite side of the exhaust, just so there's plenty of room for all components. Okay, once the air valve is bolted in place and it's secured down, we want to come back and we want to torque this. And for the metal pumps, we're going to go to 80 inch-pounds, and for plastic pumps, 55 inch-pounds. And be sure to follow the torque sequence laid out in the manual or the hang tag that's on the outlet manifold. And that completes the service of the air valve.